Hey guys, Dave from Dave Builds It. Today I'm going to show you how to get your wife to let you buy tools and make her think it was her idea. Stay tuned. So 3 years ago I married this beautiful woman. We built this awesome house, brought our kids in, from two marriages. And one of the things we wanted to do was make it a new experience for everybody. Sadly, what we discovered about each other's kids were that they were loud and obnoxious. So we have this big, beautiful open living room and kitchen. I love it. It's great. Um, but we had this opening that goes from there to the hallway, and then goes back to our bedroom. And we have a door in the bedroom, obviously. But the kids are freaking loud. I mean, I like to sleep in on Saturdays. I don't want to be awakened before 9 a.m. And they're in there clinking their spoons and slamming doors and slurping, and it's just, God, it's just annoying. So we both wanted something that can keep the kid noises out in the living room, away from the bedroom, and the bedroom noises away from the kids, if you know what I mean. So my wife had a great idea. Let's get some barn doors and install them. Well, installing them would be a project in and of itself, but not a big deal. The problem was that they had to be a custom size, and they were expensive. I mean, they were costly, and there was no way that I was going to pay that much for them. I was just starting to get into the do-it-yourself stuff. There was a lot of things I needed, like a miter saw and a handful of other things that were kind of expensive. And while my wife never said I couldn't buy them, I mean, they just weren't in the budget, and it was hard to justify them. However, building these doors, especially if it came in cheaper than what the custom doors cost, and still allowing me to buy some of the tools I need, well, that benefited both of us. And guys, if you're new to being married, happy wife, happy life, at least for a minute. So I proposed the idea. I build them. I need this, this, and this. It'll be cheaper than actually buying them. We'll get something custom that we really like. You'll get something you'll love. We'll both get something that cuts the sound out of the bedroom. And she was totally on board with it. But here's a few pictures of the project. Unfortunately, I didn't have any videos of it at the time, but I did think to take some pictures along the way. So I started with what I believe was a 1/2 inch sheet of OSB. I framed it out with 1x6s, just the straightest boards I could find at the big box store. Now I added some 1x4s in between the frame at an angle just for appearance. Now I got on purpose, I bought the ugliest boards I can find because I wanted the live edge and I wanted the spots and just kind of wanted the rawness of the wood to come out. So this is the front all tacked down and unfinished, uh, other than cutting the cat door. And now we have a cutout for the cat to pass through. So rather than relying on commercial stain, I used what we consider in the South the only acceptable use of unsweetened tea for the first coat. Then I mixed the steel wool and vinegar in a container for 3 or 4 days. What you'll see happens is the steel wool tends to kind of dissolve or disintegrate, and it leaves a stain that will give the wood an appearance of an old palette. Then I finished it off with 2 coats of clear satin polyurethane, and that's it. That's the exact look that we were going for. I picked up some flat steel at the local welding shop, uh, and then just kind of temporarily mounted it to make sure everything was lined up the way I wanted it. Right here, you see I'm only using 3 studs. The finished project uses 10 studs. Not only are there 8 on the bar itself, but there are 2 brackets I had made that also they serve as stops. For one, the doors can't roll off of
the rail, but it also serves as an additional support. As these doors were intended to be somewhat soundproof, they're very heavy. They weighed in about 125 pounds apiece, thus the additional support. Now this was a major screw up on these doors, and you can't see it in this photo, but when both doors are mounted, when you try to close them, the cast iron wheel set I got from Amazon, they touched, so you couldn't close the door all the way.
If you watch the Fire Pit series, you'll remember me kind of harping on the fact that you shouldn't get too upset when you make a mistake. I mean, sometimes that can be costly, but sometimes and oftentimes, they work out better than what your original plan was. And I made a pretty bad mistake here in my measurements, and I was really concerned about how ugly this was going to turn out, what I was going to have to do to fix it. So I stepped away from it for a couple of days, and when I came back to it, I had a fresh set of eyes on it. And the solution, I think, was really cool, and to this day, nobody has noticed it.
If you recall from earlier in the video, I purposely picked out the rawest looking wood I could find. I wanted the dark knots, the imperfections. I wanted to look raw on purpose. This mistake allowed me to see if I could take those holes that I drilled and attempt to cover them up and make them look like they were part of the natural wood. So I drilled the holes out so I can plug them with dowels. I rounded out the holes and kind of smoothed it out with wood glue and sawdust. Then I took a small wood chisel and kind of roughed the wood up to make it look ununiform, for lack of a better word. Then I colored it in with just an ordinary black Sharpie. And after correctly measuring the distance between the cast iron pulleys, it was time to mount the hardware. And to do something different than what I've seen elsewhere, I created an opposing rail system on the bottom of the doors. This ensures those doors cannot be accidentally dislodged by obnoxious and careless kids without removing those pulleys in the bottom of the door.
I guarantee you that your wife has a honeydew project all planned out for you. So instead of going out and buying whatever it is she wants, whether it be a coffee table or maybe a serving tray or a picture frame, just offer to build it for her. Just tell her you'll need a few tools along the way, and she'll be all on board. You guys will be happy. You'll create something really cool and interesting. Your wife will love it because it came from you, and you'll be satisfied with it. So it's really a win-win all the way. Thanks for watching.